Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves, literally and metaphorically. Alex Eala, a 21-year-old tennis player from the Philippines, just made history by winning her first Women's Tennis Association (WTA) Tour-level singles title. But here's the thing, this isn't just a sports story. It's a cultural moment, a shift in how a nation sees itself, and a testament to the power of individual achievement. So, let's break this down. First off, what makes this really interesting is the context. The Philippines isn't exactly a tennis powerhouse. Historically, the country's sporting identity has been tied to the three Bs: basketball, billiards, and boxing. Tennis? Not so much. It's been a sport for the elite, with courts mostly found in wealthy areas. So, when Alex Eala comes along and wins a major title, it's not just a victory for her, it's a victory for a nation that's been craving a new hero. Personally, I think this is where the story gets fascinating. It's not just about the win, it's about what it represents. One thing that immediately stands out is how Eala's success is reshaping the sporting landscape in the Philippines. Tennis classes are fully booked, courts are being upgraded, and there's a surge in support for the Tennis Federation. What many people don't realize is that this kind of ripple effect can transform a sport's popularity overnight. Eala herself mentioned how hard it is to find courts now, compared to when she was younger and they were empty. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a classic example of how one person's success can inspire systemic change. Now, let's talk about the match itself. Eala didn't just win, she came back from behind against the top-ranked player, Jessica Pegula, in a match that was spread over 2 days due to rain delays. From my perspective, this kind of resilience is what makes her story so compelling. It's not just about talent, it's about grit, determination, and that Filipino heart Manny Pacquiao praised her for. This raises a deeper question. How much of her success is due to her own drive, and how much is due to the opportunities she's had? Eala comes from a prominent family, but she started playing on painted-over basketball courts in Quezon City before moving to Spain to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy on a scholarship. Here's where it gets interesting. She's now advocating for better access to public courts and equipment in the Philippines. What this really suggests is that while individual talent is crucial, systemic support is equally important. If the Philippines wants to produce more athletes like Eala, it needs to invest in infrastructure and make sports accessible to everyone, not just the elite. Another detail I find fascinating is the global reaction to her win. The tournament director in Washington, D.C. mentioned that 80% of ticket requests were for Eala's matches. That's unheard of for a player from a country that's not traditionally a tennis powerhouse. What this tells me is that Eala's story transcends borders. She's not just a Filipino icon, she's becoming a global one. And in a sport dominated by players from wealthier nations, her success is a reminder that talent can come from anywhere, if given the chance. Finally, let's talk about the cultural impact. Eala's win has sparked a national obsession with tennis, with watch parties and celebrations across the Philippines. The president hosted a reception for her, and she's been hailed as our new champion. But what's really striking is how she's redefining what's possible for young Filipinos, especially women. In a country where sports like basketball and boxing have traditionally taken center stage, Eala's success is opening doors for a new generation of athletes. Personally, I think this is the most important part of her story. It's not just about her, it's about the legacy she's building. So, here's my closing thought. Alex Eala's historic win is more than just a sports headline. It's a story about breaking barriers, inspiring change, and redefining what's possible. It's a reminder that one person's success can ignite a movement, and that talent, when given the right opportunities, can come from anywhere. What do you think? Is Eala's story just the beginning of a new era for Filipino sports? Let me know in the comments below.